We're shaking, y'all. Welcome back to Tank Top Hank. I am Tank Top Hank, and I'm here with my man, Jake Cummings. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. All right. So let's get right into it. World Series, the Braves take down the Astros in Game 6 to capture the World Series. Now, I must say, this feels like poetic justice on two levels. Number one, Atlanta breaks their streak of, kind of being choking, right? Because of the Falcons and I think the Hawks last year. But obviously the most infamous was the Falcons in that Super Bowl against the Patriots, 28-3 lead, blowout in the fourth quarter. And then it works on another level in that it's poetic justice that the Astros lose the World Series at the exact site where they cheated and won just a few years ago. So what are your thoughts on that World Series, how everything turned out, and what do you think of the future for the Astros and the Braves?
Yeah, I mean, I think it couldn't happen to a better team for the Astros because, I hate the Astros. They cheated and all that. I'm not a fan either. So I'm glad for the Braves finally breaking their streak. I mean, last year they gave it a 3-1 to the Dodgers when they looked like they were contenders to win. So I'm glad they could finally get it done. Yeah, they're exciting to watch.
Yeah, I agree, and the 100%. Yeah, the Astros. I mean, I know very few Astros fans, and it's because they've been Astros fans for a while.
Only people in Houston.
Yeah. And I know a few in Florida, but that's about it. But on to UFC. This is what I'm honestly most excited to talk about. This is the sport that I follow the most, and I think is the most exciting. UFC Covington versus Usman rematch. You and I just watched the press conference, and that was electric. A lot of trash talking between these two guys. What's your prediction on how this fight turns out? Versus obviously Usman is the betting favorite because he's the champ. But I mean, Covington is number one contender, and he's obviously a very talented fighter. So, how do you see this going?
I think it's going to be a bloodbath, just like the first one. I mean, the first one they're just throwing shots back and forth all the time, and I think it's going to be just like that. I mean, Covington's been talking a lot of crap, and I think it's going to be really good. I like the Covington's plus 250 odds. I think I'm going to do that.
You're going to bet on him.
Yeah, I'm going to bet on him. So I want him to win.
Yeah, I don't sports bet, but I will say I think that Covington, I feel like he might pull off the upset. But honestly, I don't know who wins. I'm just exciting. I'm excited for this fight because it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be insane. And both of them now have new trainers from the first fight, so that'll be interesting to see if they try more kicks because I mean it was essentially 95% a boxing match, and then the 5% was some kickboxing. The first fight, it was mainly just them just throwing jabs and hooks and straights and stuff with their hands. So it'll be interesting to see if they try a takedown, try some kicks, maybe some elbows. Who knows? Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. That's the co-main event. These two girls fought, I think, a couple months ago or maybe 6 months ago, and Rose knocked her out in the first round. It was on the Usman Masvidal card, which actually, now that I think of it, is like April or May of this year.
Yeah.
Rose has won 5 of her last 6 fights. Just made quick work of Zhang on the Masvidal card. Who do you think? Who do you think is taking this one?
I mean, I don't really know too much about this, but I watched the first one they had, and I mean, Rose it wasn't even close. I mean, she way overmatched her. So I mean, I have no reason to believe it's going to do the same thing this time.
I gotcha. Yeah, and I think Rose will. Yeah, it'll be the same thing. Rose is going to take this one. Mike Chandler versus Justin Gaichi is the other main fight on the main card. Who you got in this one? Because I know you know a lot of. We've been talking about these guys.
I think this is going to be the same as the Covington Usman, where it's just going to be a bloodbath the whole time. It can kind of go either way. I mean, both those guys are they strike hard and they can take punches and stuff, and they have crazy conditioning. So I think it could go all 5 rounds of just going back and forth with each other, but. I don't know. I kind of want Chandler to win because it's from Mizzou, so I think I'm going to go with him, but I think it could go either way.
Yeah, I'm kind of pulling for Chandler, too. He's wrestled at Mizzou. I think that, Chandler just came off a championship loss to Oliveira over a year ago. That was recent. Gaichi, championship loss to Khabib over a year ago. So these guys are knocking on the door, and they just said in the press conference, I think whoever wins this is going to be the number one contender. Either them or Islam Makhachev, who's Khabib's protege. Mm-hmm. So I really think Chandler's going to win by knockout. He's just so physical. He's not as tall, but he's a much more muscular guy and stronger. And he almost finished Oliveira, who's a better opponent than
Yeah,
Gaichi.
I mean, he was winning most of that match, and then Oliveira got him at the end. So
yeah,
I mean, and he's the best in that weight class. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Chandler on that one.
Yeah, and then we got boxing. We got Canelo. It's amazing that Canelo versus Plant, which is like the biggest boxing match of the year, aside from Fury Wilder, but it's one of. It's amazing that that's like the footnote in the fighting world, just because of this insane UFC card that we have. Otherwise, I mean, if this was last weekend with the other UFC, it would have been the main thing. But more people would have been paying attention to it. But we can't forget about it. Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has 1 belt. Canelo's got 3. Winner of this is going to take all 4. Who you got, Canelo or Caleb Plant?
I'm gonna have to go with Canelo. I mean, he's so good. I don't see him losing at all.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks Caleb Plant might pull off the upset. He's like 6'1". Canelo's like 5'8", but Canelo's also a beast. I'll also rock with Canelo. I just think he's the most well-rounded. He might be the most well-rounded boxer of all time. I mean, and right in this camera, we're doing another Tank Top Hank hot take. TTHHT. Yeah, there we go. Tank Top Hank hot take. Canelo in his prime would have beat Money Floyd Mayweather. That is just, I think that's facts.
I agree.
know Floyd beat Canelo young in his career, but Canelo, if he fought like Canelo how he is right now, fights Floyd in his prime, Canelo wins. All right, back to what we're talking about. Let's move on to NFL. Chiefs, your Chiefs, you're a Kansas City guy, got a narrow win on Monday night against the Giants. Do you honestly, like, as a Chiefs, I know, like, you can't help but be a little biased, but do you honestly think, try to be impartial, do you think the Chiefs can make the playoffs this year?
I think they can make the playoffs, but I mean, I'm just kind of every week I've just been waiting them to like turn it around and like kind of get it going from where they've been, and that just hasn't happened this year. So the way it's going right now, it's bad, but I still believe we're going to be able to like find it and get it together. I mean, Mahomes hasn't been playing like he should at all, and I think once we make some changes up there, and with new addition of Melvin Ingram going off the edge, I think we can make a playoff run.
Yeah, next 3 weeks, you guys play the Packers, the Raiders, and the Cowboys. What does your record look like in, let's say, December after these 3 weeks?
Well, I mean, now that Aaron Rodgers is out, I feel like, I mean, if we can't beat the Packers, then I don't know.
Lost cause.
Yeah.
Let's say you beat the Packers, then Raiders and Cowboys.
And then, I mean, I think we can definitely beat Raiders with everything going on in their organization. But, I mean, with like Gruden now and what happened to Ruggs, I think we can win that. And then, I mean, Cowboys, they've been looking really good this year. So we'll see with that. We'll see if we can turn it up for that.
I say Chiefs go win against the Packers, win against the Raiders, lose to the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with that.
Yeah. All right, high-profile games this week. We got Titans at Rams. The Titans are without Derrick Henry, and the Rams with recently acquired Von Miller. I say the Rams take a win for sure, because this Titans team is pretty much runs through Derrick Henry, literally runs through Derrick Henry. So what do you think happens?
I think Sam. I think Rams win. I mean, without Derrick Henry, he's like their whole offense.
Yeah.
So I don't think they have a chance.
Someone might say like, Tannehill also, like, you might look at his fantasy points, whatever. He's having a good year, but like that's just because the play action works so well with Derrick Henry, because everybody's thinking about it.
He has a lot of easy throws to make because everyone's coming in on Derrick.
Yeah, he's just got one-on-one slants to AJ Brown. It's not a difficult throw. I could make that throw. I don't know, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, Packers at Chiefs. We just talked about that. I think, Packers, they did just beat the Cardinals, but they're also without Aaron Rodgers, which is the only reason they beat the Cardinals. He turns into a superhuman in big-time games. Aside from the NFC Championship, he chokes. But Chiefs just got back on their feet against the Giants with a W, going against a backup QB, Jordan Love, or Blake Bortles. We don't know who's going to start. I say Chiefs dub. You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Chiefs dub. All right, final game, Browns at Bengals. Bengals just took an L to the Jets. Browns just lost to the Steelers. Who's going to bounce back and win this game?
I think it's going to be the Bengals that bounce back. I think their defense is really good, and then Jamar Chase has been killing it this year. I think the Bengals are going to come back after that bad loss to the Jets and get a win.
Yeah, I don't really know. I think, on the one hand, I think Bengals are, as much as I like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, I used to be an LSU fan, I think they're like pretenders, not actual contenders. Like, I really don't think they're going to like actually be like the number one AFC team in the playoffs, even though they were like 2 weeks ago. But the Browns are on the downfall, and the Bengals are in somewhat of an uprise. So I guess I'll go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the Browns are super injured right now too, so also makes a huge difference. Like, they're missing a lot of guys, and OBJ just got like kicked out of practice. I don't think he's going to play this week either. There's a lot of stuff going around there.
Yeah, there's like the internal side. There's a lot of OBJ. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if he's ever. I feel like he thinks there's like a perfect fit. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think, like, why would he try to get out of the Browns? Like, I know he's not getting the ball a lot, but just, like, give it a chance. Like, he's been injured. Of course, he's not getting the balls much. I don't know. He is one of the greatest talents ever, though. So I guess he can kind of do what he wants. He's going to get paid, get a shot. But that's going to do it. This is Tank Top Hank and Jake, my brother.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, my man. Of course. And we will see you next week.